Morning everyone. Well, I've had an interesting morning myself. I'm going to whack in a little clip now of what I've been up to if you haven't been listening to BBC Radio Newcastle. But before I show you that, let's have a word from our sponsors. Big thank you to Midnite for supporting us on this one. You can scan that QR code on your screen there now or hit the link in the description to get your free bets once you place that £10 bet. So if you're betting this weekend, get yourselves on Midnite. Fastest payouts guaranteed, best odds guaranteed, easy to use app. You get your free bets on there as well. It's an absolute no-brainer. So wait until the end of the video to see my tip as well. Right then, let's go. Oh, try and get in sync here with your people with BBC's Matt Bailey. He's dragged me along, literally, on a three-legged walk for the children in need. So let the viewers know about that one.
Yeah, we're doing a 1,000-mile challenge across all the local BBC stations. Walking 1,000 miles, three-legged. Myself and Anna Foster from BBC Newcastle doing 25 miles of those 1,000. I'm doing half of it, she's doing half of it. And I'm basically joined with various guests along the way. I'm coming to the end of my stint, so I've only got about an hour and a half left. And Matty here has agreed to be our second last victim, participant, to walk with us three-legged.
It's Champions League match day as well, Matt, so you said, I've had a busy day, yours is busier than mine, but you definitely started earlier than me. You'll be at the match tonight because you work at the club as well, at the stadium there, the hospitality suite. Are you looking forward to the game tonight?
Yeah, how can you not look forward to Champions League football, you know what I mean? I work the corporate suites and that at the match, so it's great. I'm bottoming on, I think I've got Keith Gillespie with me tonight, so we'll be chatting to Keith. And then I would say, getting to watch Champions League football, what more could you want? I grew up as a boy watching the Boss. I was at the Barcelona game the first time round, you know what I mean, and that sort of stuff. So I've always loved it under the lights, and to have Champions League football back at St James's and to experience that again, I cannot wait. I kind of don't even mind what the result is on these matches. I'd love to see us win. I'd love to see us get another 3 points, but in reality, it's just that experience of being there and hearing that Champions League anthem, and just kind of like, it makes me get butterflies just thinking about it, you know what I mean?
A little tearjerker, isn't it? A little tearjerker. But nice little support from everyone else, all the living, all the beefs along the way on this walk. Score predictions for tonight? I know you said you're not too bothered, you're just going to enjoy it, but I'm going to go for a big one, you know, Matt. I fancy a big win tonight.
Are you? What are you going for?
6-0.
6-0? No!
I'm maybe going delirious on this walk, but they've got loads of injuries. I think we're going to try and come out and prove a point after Sunday's disappointing defeat to West Ham. So honestly, 4-0.
Mate, I'd love to. I'm saying like I don't mind what the result is. Of course I do. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping we'll win tonight. I'd hope we win big. A 6-0. That would be absolutely incredible. I reckon I'm going to go with a more conservative 3-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. The defence looks good, and I think that blip at the weekend, I hope it was a blip. They look tired. Hopefully, they put it out tonight in the Champions League, and I reckon, I'll take a 3-0.
The children who need people, you know what it's all about. You'll see it on the television next week. I hope you'll listen to it live on the radio as well. Head over to the website so you can donate if you can. But I'm going to crack on with trying to get through the rest of this walk.
Cheers!
So there we have it, back in the car now after walking along there with Matt Bailey, trying to raise money for BBC Children in Need. Really enjoyed that, actually, to be fair. Good walk, good chat, all things Newcastle United with Matt there, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. So nice one if you have listened to it. You can actually listen to it back on the BBC Sounds app if you want to. And obviously we'll check out Children in Need when that comes out next Friday. And I think it'll be on Look North and all those local TV stations tonight. But well done to Matt for doing that. Unbelievable stuff. He's been up since 3 a.m. this morning, walking for 6 hours straight yesterday and today. Three-legged. Obviously we're tied together. He's tied to different guests. So a three-legged walk there for charity. Unbelievable stuff. So all the people that do great things for charity, that's one of them there. And it was a pleasure to be a part of it. I enjoyed that one. But I'm back in the car now. We've got several hours until the big kick-off tonight. And it was interesting what Eddie Howe was talking about yesterday, I thought, in terms of Anthony Gordon, a name that's been getting a lot of attention, a player that's been talked about a lot recently because of the lack of goals and assists in the Premier League, not because of the Champions League, because he's one of the bloody top goal scorers with this badge on his arm. We should just put that on Premier League secretly, just underneath or something, try and do something to make him think he's playing in the bloody Champions League. Put the lights on, close the roof, make it dark, because he loves it. Only works the night shift. In the Premier League, he's had, 19 games without a goal, or 21 games without an assist. One of those ways round where basically 21 games without a goal contribution is the best way of putting it, and that's not bloody good enough, as we know. And Eddie Howe said that, and he said he's had some talks, many discussions in fact, with the England winger, a bit of a showdown with him to try and find out why he's not quite replicating the Champions League form in the Premier League. So that's a difficult thing. Listen, we were here the other day ranting and raving in this very car from following that West Ham defeat. It was shocking, it was shambolic. But in the Champions League, and I'm sure it'll be the case tonight, hope so, we'll be doing a match reaction, seeing how brilliant everyone was, and Gordon will probably score a couple of goals again. And yeah, I hope, obviously really hope that's the case, but we need to find that consistency. Eddie Howe said he sat down with Gordon and he's been having discussions with him about that form, about that reason why he's not replicating it. He said, you know, it's not due to a lack of commitment or desire from Anthony himself. He just says it's football, it just hasn't really quite been falling for him, but he's kind of give him that, not an ultimatum as such, but kind of a shove and a way to, listen, you need to start producing this on a consistent basis. You know, he hooked him at half-time against West Ham, so he's saying now we need to see these performances on the weekend, but that's Brentford on Sunday. You know, first of all, let's see it again tonight, please, Anthony. Continue on. He scored in 4 Champions League games in a row, 4 goals in the competition now, one of the top goal scorers. And it's funny because the wingers are doing that. Barnes is doing that. Elanga picked up a man of the match in the Champions League, but the wingers, none of them have got a goal or an assist, apart from Jacob Murphy, this season in the Premier League. So yeah, a bit of a showdown talk there between Howe and Gordon to try and fix his form in the Premier League. There's been a lot of frustration amongst fans I've seen, and people talking to me, comment on the videos. I see them saying Gordon just wants to turn up the big games to put himself in the shop window. He wants that move to Liverpool, and you know, there is that argument where why are you only turning up when it's live on TNT or whatever, and the bright lights are shining and all the attention's on you and Tuchel's watching. It has to change, you know. You have to get up for these 3 o'clock games on a Saturday against Fulham instead of relying on last minute winners. You have to get up for games against West Ham, who are winless at home since February. You know, those bread and butter games, the day in, day out games, you have to get up for. I did an analogy on the radio there because Matt Bailey asked me, what is it, Matty? Why aren't we turning up in the Premier League compared to the Champions League? And we said, you know, it's like you turn up for the nice fancy restaurant meal, you're all dressed up, you're looking forward to that one, you go and sit down for a nice curry and everything, your favourite restaurant. Oh, I'll have a chicken madras, please, big garlic naan bread, lovely stuff. When it comes to being in the house and you've got to cook the curry, or you've got to whack a microwave curry in the microwave there, and you've got to, you know, wait for 5 minutes and it tastes like crap and it's dry and it's mean and there's no flavour. The dry microwave curry is our Premier League games, and the fancy Indian restaurant is our Champions League games. And they all want to go at the fancy restaurant, but none of them want to use the microwave. That's where I was going with that. So I may be a bit delusional. I've been tied to Matt Bailey for an hour, walking around 3-legged. So yeah, Gordon has to start turning up. Eddie Howe knows that. Anthony Gordon knows that. You know, he's not daft. He's an intelligent bloke, and I'm sure it's not because of a lack of commitment or dedication. But a switch just needs to flick, and maybe a goal or something will give him the confidence to do that. I don't know. Let's hope that does change this weekend. But it's all on tonight, to be fair. But Dan Burn also mentioned the Premier League form and the away form, and he said that Newcastle should maybe return to that shithousery that served them so well a couple of years ago. He mentioned the fact that teams used to fear Newcastle. We used to go away from home and make life difficult and get in the faces. But he said because the team's evolved with, you know, new players, better players, you play better football, that kind of dark arts disappears. Bring back the bloody dark arts. Bring back the shithousery, because that was what getting us results. We're flying with that. So Dan Burn, he looked really disappointed and frustrated because I think he had his fan head on last night in that interview, and I think he knows, he sees these things, he has it online, he's a fan himself, you know, he gets it. So he's saying, and he's feeling it as well. And you know, that's the thing with this dressing room, the lads all want the best for the club, they all love it, whether you're a Joey like Dan Burn or you're Bruno from Brazil, they all get it, you know what I mean, they all want the best for the club and want to do well. So yeah, big Dan Burn, frustrated and annoyed like the rest of us at why we're not quite replicating that away form in the Premier League. But he mentioned that he hopes it's going to be a catalyst for change. He hopes it's going to be a catalyst for the league to give them, you know, a good old boot up the bum. Because they had it last year. We talked about it in that West Ham review. I did, you know. We had it last year when we were getting slapped off Brentford and a few other games where we're really struggling. and then we're on a 9-game winning run. So hopefully he's right. Hopefully it is a catalyst for change. Hopefully it does give us a lift and we can go start getting some runner games across all competitions. Because so far, Champions League, Carabao Cup, fantastic. But Premier League, pretty bad. Pretty bloody bad indeed. But Bilbao tonight, they've got about 8 injuries, I think. The captain's missing, the Williams are missing, the pair of them, not Serena and Venus. Inaki and Nico, whatever they're called. They're missing top players, top talents, dangerous forwards. So everything points to a big Newcastle win for me. And if you were listening to the BBC Radio Newcastle, I predicted 6-0. I'm going for it. I'm backing 6-0. I'm honestly going for it. So if you want to back and go with my big 6-0er, you can do by getting on Midnite. So get yourselves on that link in the description or the QR code on the screen there now, so we can get all the winnings together. Big odds on that one, 6-0. If I'm being realistic, I'll probably go for like a 4-0 Anthony Gordon, to be fair. So if you just want to meet us somewhere in the middle there, 5-0 Newcastle then. I just think, the pressure's on the Bilbao manager, the mid-table. He's having a bit of a go at everyone. They're missing the top stars. Newcastle should be showing a reaction tonight, fighting for it. So yeah, fancy us. I do fancy us to put in a big performance. Scarfs are waving, Champions League anthems on. Let's get a big win. And to be fair, as bad as the Premier League's been, the Champions League has been absolutely class. And a win tonight would see us back in that top 6, top 8 positions, getting very close and very tidy towards that knockout round. So fingers crossed we have a good night tonight. I'll be there, so stay tuned for the match reaction. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to my Pie Channel TV and enjoy yourself.